There are a lot of myths associated with building a six-figure online coaching business. After having built and run my own multiple seven-figure business at this point, and having helped thousands of students go from employee to entrepreneur through building their own online coaching business, I'm going to share with you today the top 3 most common myths and the reality behind them. Before we jump right in, make sure you hit that subscribe button to be notified when I release a new video every single week on to-the-point tips for building your own online coaching business. Myth number 1, you need a big audience. There is so much advice out there on first build an audience, build an email list, and then after you've gotten a few hundred, a few thousand people, then you can start thinking about what to sell and getting to 6 figures. There is so much wrong with that advice, including the fact that if your number 1 goal is to build a business and get to profitability, that you're going to be spending a really long time building an audience that you don't really even know that well because you haven't sold them anything. You haven't had them say, hey, I'm putting my money on this, and so you know this is what I care about. Instead, I want you to think about it in terms of the numbers. For easy math, let's say you have a $2,000 offer that you are helping your clients with. To be able to hit $100,000 in sales, you only need 50 clients. That's not going to come from you building an audience and a list and just hoping that 50 of those people will sooner or later buy. Businesses are not built upon numbers. Don't get me wrong, the numbers are incredibly important, but at the end of the day, businesses are built on relationships because people buy from people. You're not going to build those relationships through just building an email list of names of people that you don't really know. Instead, it's more important to build relationships with the right people to drive those sales. So instead of thinking about, in the beginning, building your email list or getting your audience to a certain size, think about, where is my audience? Who is my audience? And what is the most intimate way I can go and build those relationships to drive my first sales to get to 6 figures? I will tell you, in my first online business in digital advertising consulting, I got to 6 figures with less than a few hundred people on my email list. And those people found me as a result of what I was doing to build relationships with clients and make sales, not as a result of me focusing on building an audience or getting to a certain number in my email list to be able to make those sales. So reframe that thinking. Your focus is to make the sales and as a result, build your audience, and not to build an audience and then hope and pray for those sales. That brings us to myth number 2, which is that it has to be complicated somehow for you to get to 6 figures in your business. Maybe that means you have to create a lot of different offers, or maybe it means that you need a big team, or here's a really popular one, it means that you need to be everywhere on all the social media platforms all the time to be able to get clients. No. And the reason for that is because that actually leads to your attention being scattered over so many different things, you being burnt out, you not being able to create the best products possible for your audience because you're worried about so many different things. Here's the truth about getting to 6 figures. What you need to focus on is the power of 1. Now, I want to caveat, this does not apply necessarily when you're looking to go past 6 figures to multiple 6 or 7, but it is the truth for the most efficient way to get to 6 figures in your online coaching business. And the power of 1 is this: 1 ideal client, 1 person who you know is the perfect fit for your offer, and that's the person that you focus on to build the relationship the fastest, to drive the best sales, to help them get the best results. The power of 1 also applies to your offer. You're not trying to create a ton of different offers. You are creating 1 that allows you to perfect your offer so that you can really experience and work on how you help your clients get their results and perfect your system for doing it. Because even though you have the experience that you have at your skill, it's a completely different experience to learn how to teach others your skill. Not only that, but when you have one offer, that allows you to build your brand recognition and your testimonials for that one offer. So it just becomes stronger and stronger with each day, with each client, with each testimonial, and makes it easier and easier for you to sell. Whereas if your attention was divided over lots of different offers, you would have to do that for every single offer, which would make it harder to sell each one. Finally, the power of one also applies to one acquisition method. That means focusing on one social media platform or one place or one way that you can use to get your first 6 figures. Again, I want to caveat that I am not saying this is the way to maintain your business in the long run or grow past 6 figures. But when your focus is first to get to a good profitable stage in your business, the power of one is key. So for example, when I first started out doing digital advertising consulting, I knew my clients were online in Facebook groups. So that's all I focused on. I found the groups where my audience was. I built those relationships based on that one ideal client that I was focused on. And I spent all my time focused on that, getting known for one offer, helping people get amazing results for that offer, and crossed over to 6 figures that way. It doesn't have to be Facebook. I'm just giving you an example, by the way. For some of my clients, that one acquisition method is through writing guest posts for existing publications, or maybe using LinkedIn, or maybe finding one big partner who drives them a lot of referral sales. That one method is going to depend on your business, your network, your audience, but the idea absolutely applies no matter what industry you're in, and that idea is to find the best source for you to start out with. Focus on one client, one offer, one acquisition method so that you hone it and get it everything to be the best that it can be in the most efficient way possible, and so that you get to your sales goal in the fastest way possible as well. Then after that, you can go out there and expand into different offers, different audiences, different acquisition channels, and you should. But that's after you've crossed that 6-figure mark. If you'd like my help with that, make sure you check out my free video tutorial on the simple 3-step marketing plan for new coaches. It's linked in the description below, so make sure you check that out. The final myth we are going to talk about today is that it needs to take a really long time for your business to cross 6 figures. Again, we're talking specifically about building an online coaching business. There are other types of businesses where it might take longer to get to that level, but not so much for a coaching business. Because with this business model, you only need a small number of clients, you are building a relationship with them, and you don't need to create any new product. You've already got the skills and the experience that you are going to be helping others with. Remember the math that we did earlier. If you are selling a $2,000 package, you only need 50 clients to get to $100,000 in sales. And when you think about it, if you are focusing on one audience, one offer, one acquisition channel, does it really seem that complicated, or like it should take years for you to be able to make those 50 sales, or whatever that number is depending on the math for you? The truth is, for a lot of my students, when they are following the right method, speaking to the right audience, sharing the right offer that we just talked about, they're able to get to 6 figures in months or a year, not 2, 3, 4, 5 years. One of the biggest reasons for that is because I want you to think about this. Yes, you might be new in starting your business, but you are not new with the skills and experience that you are bringing to your experience. It's not like when you were starting your career right out of college from day one. It took you time to build up to where you are now in your career. But while you have to build your brand anew online, all that experience that you gain from your previous work and career and life and job experience can apply and be transitioned into your business. So in some ways with your brand, you are starting from scratch, but in many other ways, you are not. And what you're doing now is you're simply going out there, finding the right people who want help from you, where they're hanging out, and then sharing all the skills that you've accumulated over who knows how long with them. And when you think about it that way, it becomes a lot less complicated and a lot less overwhelming and intimidating to go out there and build your business. As I always say, building an online coaching business does not need to be complicated. That doesn't mean it's easy, but it doesn't mean that you need to be doing everything under the sun and trying to make it the most complicated, tech, sophisticated system possible. That's why I've got for you a free masterclass on how to build your own online coaching business to 6 figures from scratch. In it, I share the exact system that I used to build my first online coaching business to over $106,000 in sales in 4 months before I left my 9-to-5. I didn't have a big audience. I didn't have a ton of offers. I focused on just one offer, and I did it in 4 months while managing a 9-to-5. The reason I was able to do all of that is because I kept in mind all of the myths that we've dispelled today. I realized that it wasn't about building an audience first. It was about first making the sales, making the relationships to drive those sales, and then building my audience as a result of it. Again, I focused on only one offer, and then I went out there and doubled down on doing just that and only that. So if you want to know what to focus on and what not to focus on, make sure you check out my free masterclass, which is also linked in the description below. I hope this video has helped you shift the way you've been thinking about building your own 6-figure online business. It's not impossible. It's not just for a lucky few. It is not easy because it does take work and perseverance. But if you're willing to do that, then it's possible for you 100%. It's just about you solving a problem and then going out there and finding the people who are willing to pay for that problem. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please let me know by liking it below, and let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was. I would love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to subscribe for my weekly videos. Share this with your entrepreneurial friends who are wanting the same goals that you are, and show them that, hey, it doesn't have to be impossible to build this business. And then I will see you next time.